saw your mother there, all wrapped up in the colors of the dead. Why are we so afraid of them? I won't go back to every moment that we were together. I turn my eye toward the western sky. I know you're waiting there. When the storms come, I won't run forever. I will watch for you. When the curtain falls, close my eyes forever. We will ride together. You can feel it coming, coming, coming. You can feel it coming miles away. Black clouds rolling in. And I guess that you could tell I was afraid. I remember what you said to me. You said something on the water, maybe others on the mountain. But son, you must remember who we are. We are the stars. When the storm winds come, I won't run forever. I will watch for you. When the curtain falls, close my eyes forever. We will ride together. When the storm winds come, I wouldn't dare to run from them. I won't go back to every moment that we were together. I turn my eye toward the western sky. I know you're waiting there. And when the storm winds come, I won't run for cover. I will watch for you. And when the curtain falls and I close my eyes forever, we will ride together again. When the storm winds come, I won't run for cover. I will watch for you. When the curtain falls and I close my eyes forever, we will ride together.
My friends, welcome. I am so absolutely excited today that you guys are here. Today we're going to be talking about how to dominate the fretboard with ease. I'm going to be teaching you in my opinion, three of the most important things to get you up and running on the guitar, and there's so many concepts that we can teach, but these are the things today that are going to really move you forward. Strumming, we're going to be talking about fretting in specific ways, and I'm going to be talking about the number system. I'm going to be teaching for 1 hour, and at the 15-minute mark, we're going to be giving stuff away. At the half-hour mark, we're going to be giving stuff away, and at the hour mark, we're going to be giving a ton of stuff away, including this beautiful PRS guitar. I'll give you the details, but essentially it's this. You don't have to be present to win. That's okay. There's over 200 of you guys here already. Super excited to dig in and show you this material, okay? Then for an hour, if you want afterwards, I'm gonna be staying with you and answering any questions that you guys might have regarding what I'm teaching you, regarding the free course that I'm giving you. All of this is in the description of the video, by the way. The course is How to Dominate the Fretboard with Ease. I'm gonna be doing all of that, and then for 1 hour afterwards, I'll be answering any questions that you guys might have in real time. So in regards to the course, in regards to what we're doing in the store today, dear Lord, friends, not only are we giving away thousands of dollars worth of goodies today in this beautiful guitar, we're giving away 2 of my Dueling Ninja pedals. We're giving away gift certificates to, Jesus. We're giving, praise the Lord, we're giving away gift certificates, $100 gift certificates to the store. We're giving away platinum memberships, right? It's a $1,200 lifetime membership to absolutely everything that we have today and everything that we will be putting there in the future. And we put a lot of stuff in there, right? So lots of stuff to win today. What else? Oh, unprecedented prices. When I say unprecedented prices, my friend, I'm saying that these are prices that you have never seen. Let me tell them to you real quick and we're going to jump into it, okay? So you know what the prizes are. Here are the unprecedented prizes, just so you know. It's really important. I'm going to be mentioning them a few times because we got people coming in and out, okay? Number one, if you would, share and like this as well. Okay, while I'm telling you what is at stake, please share and like. Okay, number one, the Unstoppable Guitar System Pro. Lifetime membership, you get the 365 guitar plan with that. It's not $686 today. Get ready, because we haven't done this before. It's $299. What? $299. That's literally $386 instant savings. There's no joke there, man. It's like literally, you want $386 in your pocket, instant savings. That's how to do it. If you want platinum, we've never done this either. This is $300 off immediately. It's $1,197. If you go to my store, you'll see it. Well, it may not be right now. Yeah, it will. On the main page, it will. We have another landing page for you guys that have these discounts. $300 off immediately. That's lifetime membership to everything that we've ever done. All the courses. It's bonkers. If you want to know more detail, check it out. Check out the links, okay? And 40% off of everything else. So if you're just like, dude, I just want to buy a blues course. I don't want a lifetime of lessons. Then, you know, well, you'd have that course for a lifetime as well. But there you go, 40% off of everything else. And if you are a pro member, check this out. We have a lot of pro members who are wanting to go platinum, and a lot of folks are doing it. So we have a special email that will be going out to you. So make sure you're on the email list, sign up I mean, if you're in pro, you're probably on the list unless for some reason you've unsubscribed, which you shouldn't. But if you did, you can always sign up again with the Dominate the Fretboard with Ease course that's below. If you're in UGS Pro, you know, you're gonna get the emails, but otherwise. All right, so here we go. Let's jump into it at the 15-minute mark-ish. I mean, I've had to talk about this here for a minute, but at the 15-minute mark, half-hour mark, and at the hour mark, we're going to be giving away, and the prizes are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, here we go. So 3 things we're going to be talking about today on how to dominate the fretboard with ease. Number 1, mastering strumming. Number 2, clean chords. These are the things that people have issues with all the time, all right? And then the last is the number system. So think about this for a second. You have a left and right hand. Really, that is playing guitar, at least calisthenically or physically, right? Those are the things that we need to manipulate. We need to get good at fretting chords, notes, and then we need to be able to attack the strings, either finger picking or picking with a pick or something, right? So it really comes down to those 2 things. That being said, you could master this, right? You could master the strumming and everything else and still not know what the heck you're doing. like not know where to go, not know what a chord looks like, you know, but still have great skills. Conversely, you could know all this stuff and know how the construction of the guitar works, like I do on the piano. I know the inside and out. I could play every single chord for you in any key, but I don't play piano. I rarely ever play piano, but I can do it. I know mentally how to construct everything, all the scales. I could run all the scales for you, the whole 9 yards. But I don't play the instrument very often. So we could know what to do and then not be able to do it with our hands. So that's what this is all about today, is showing you what to do with your hands and then the knowledge of the fretboard in a way that a baby could get it, okay? Using the number system. I promise you this will absolutely revolutionize the way you think about music. And on every instrument, I'm taking the number part of it, and that's how I do it on the piano. I'm doing that because we have a piano downstairs. Okay, so here we go. So, first off, we're going to talk about mastering strumming, and then we're going to do some prizes, and then we're going to get into some other stuff, and you know, it's going to be amazing. Okay, here we go. So let's talk about, I'm going to get a slightly different patch here because, yeah. Okay. Am I too loud there? Am I booming? Okay, here we go. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about strumming for a minute. I can simplify this in a way that you will get this so easily and you will never, ever have a problem with strumming again. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have to practice, but what I'm saying is to be able to unravel strumming and to be able to know how to approach it. Okay, here you go. A lot of people say on my videos all the time, I get it, is it down, up, down, da, 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 down, up? You know, we know what we mean, right? Down, up. We're talking about the strumming pattern. And that's great. I don't like to answer that way. I like to answer in numbers and ands, like a beat, like 1, 2, 3, 4. These are quarter notes, right? Because there's 4 of them in a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when my foot hits the ground like this is what we call a downbeat. When my foot comes up, I know this is my hand, but you know, usually we're tapping our foot, right? Then we have the antithesis of that, or the opposite of that, and it goes and. So if we're counting them together, it would go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm going to slow it down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, if you get accustomed to doing this instead of the down-up thing, the reason that I'm saying the numbers is it's going to be very helpful because you're going to know where to put that down strum and where to put that up strum, as opposed to the whole down-up thing. It doesn't always work out, especially when you skip notes, which we do all the time when we're strumming, okay? So for instance, someone might say down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. Okay, that is true, but if there's a space in there that you're not anticipating, you won't know where to do the down and where to do the up. It's much like if we're looking at a lyric chord chart, and if you ever get lost on a lyric chord chart, it's because even though the chord is over the word, it doesn't say what the actual beat is. Okay, now if you have a little bit of wherewithal and you've been around music for a while, then this becomes a little bit more natural, but it's not a very technical document to have a lyric chord sheet. It's helpful. I use them all the time because I know what's happening musically, and I've heard a song enough times I can do it. But realistically, we would prefer to have more detail there. When we get accustomed to talking about strumming like 1, 2, and 4 and, then that's much easier, okay? So let me tell you, so for instance, if we were strumming and we're just going 1, 2, 3, and let me get a little zoom here. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? I'm strumming down and I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, easy enough, right? Now notice my hand's coming up again, so I can strike the strings down. 1, 2, 3, 4. However, I'm not hitting the strings on the way up. That's what we call a ghost strum. So when I come up and I don't hit the strings, that's called a ghost strum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I could count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And by the way, this could be for songs that are straight 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or it could be for songs that shuffle, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and doesn't matter. It's the same thing, just a different feel, okay? So if somebody said, well, the strumming pattern is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and like Folsom Prison Blues, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And some people will say it's down, 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 up, down, up. Yes, it's true, but it's also, and more importantly, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay? So, down will always be on the numbers, and the ands will always be on the up strum. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Now here's where the problem is. A lot of people, what they do is they go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay? The last part was fine, but the 1, 2, it's like technically you can do that, but it's a really bad habit to get into because strumming wise, you want to keep your hand going with the beat of the music. And notice as my hand crosses the horizon here, crosses the fretboard, that is a down strum, and that counts as a 1. When it comes back up, 2. But if I was doing the ands also, it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if you just get used to that, the way to do this is to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and get real accustomed to that. That is the basis of everything in regards to strumming, okay? And then from there, if you see it written on any one of my videos where it's like 1, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and, you'll know exactly where the strum should go. Because if I'm saying 1, 2, well, those are the first 2 beats going down. And 3 and 4 and, that means for 3 and 4, we're also going to hit the up strum. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sense? 1, 2. Now, when you're practicing these, by the way, this is in the Dominate the Fretboard with Ease course that I'm giving you for free. Link is in the description. Along with all of these exercises for you to do. So I have 5 levels of exercises. I have a PDF in there that follows the video that will direct you exactly how to do this. And what you do is you just practice that. You don't have to like practice it for the rest of your life. Just practice it in the beginning till you're like, I got this, okay? And that'll take care of this hand, all right? So we're like 1/3 of the way there, and then we're gonna be talking about fretting, and then we're gonna be talking about the number system. It's literally that easy, okay? But you do have to do it somewhat systematically, otherwise you're just gonna be frustrated, okay? All right, so if we had the most common strumming pattern, which is 1, 2, and 4 and, which is the last number in level 5 of the strumming video that I'm giving you in the free course, How to Dominate the Fretboard with Ease, then that would go 1, 2, and 4 and. You're like, well, how do I know where to strum down and up? Well, the numbers are always down and the ands are always up. So 1, 2, and 4 and. What I always say is get your hand moving. 1, 2, and 4 and 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 you'll notice or you'll see in that course that I teach you that if you start getting a little bit squirrely with the strumming, which everybody does with ghost strums, if the ghost strum is on a down beat, a lot of times people have an issue with it. I'm not going to go into all the details of that because that's what the course is for. But essentially, what you want to do is you want to do some sort of something that represents the beat, even though you're not hitting the strings. So for instance, if I said 1, 2, and for 3, I kind of hit my thigh, or I just do it has to be something like tangible that makes you, I gotta put my hand down there. Otherwise people go 1, 2, and 4, and now they're flipped upside down in regards to the strum. They'll go 1, 2, and 4. See, now I'm placing an up strum where should be a down strum, and a down strum where there should be an up strum. So there needs to be a reason for me to go down here. And I've just found from literally teaching over 10,000 one-on-one lessons, from sitting in front of all my students and going through this routine just thousands of times with them, I noticed that this is a disconnect. They just didn't get it. So must be just some part of our brain that's just, seems to be lacking in regards to that what's going on there. Okay, so for more details, check out the course that I'm giving you for free. I want to do a giveaway real quick, and then because I want to stay on task here. Okay, so let's do this. So let's what we're going to do is we're going to give away, and I'm going to wait for Mike here to let me know, but we're going to give away, he's pulling the names. So for those folks that registered, right, friends, this is why I say be on the email list. And if I tell you to go sign up for something, it's for a reason, okay? Jimbo, you're not late, my friend. You're here on time. I see Jimbo saying he's here a little late. Yeah, you're here a little late. That's okay. Okay. Okay, let's give something away here. I'll wait for Mike to send me the text of it, but essentially here is the first, and here he is. He just sent it to me just now. Boop. Okay, so here's the deal. This is for my Dueling Ninja pedal, which is basically, if you like the blues screamer, traditional Maxon Ibanez blues screamer that Stevie Ray Vaughan used, and the full tone OCD, this was inspired by those two, but it's in one pedal, and you can cascade the two together. It's an amazing pedal. It's literally the best distortion pedal, overdrive pedal I've ever had, because it's literally essentially my two favorite pedals, and the fact that I can use them together, and it's one pedal size. So for those folks that need more real estate, it's an amazing pedal. I don't know why I'm going off on that, because it's not like we sell these anymore. We've sold a bunch of them, and we're not making them right now. We just got too many other things going on. Anyhow, the last two that I'm willing to give away, I think I have one on my pedal board yet, and then I have this one, and those are the last two, which I'm not giving those away. All right, and we may make some more, but anyhow, here we go. So this winner is runner-up, and they're going to win this prize. We're gonna send it out to them, and a $100 gift certificate to the store, anything that you want. And here's that winner. You don't have to be present to win. Last time we did this, some people weren't here, and we were having to pick people over and over again. Anyhow, Larry Jones is runner-up number 1. So Larry Jones, congratulations. There you go. The live studio audience in here, okay? All right, there you go. Let's keep going, all right? We're gonna do another one in another 15 minutes-ish. I'd like to stay on task with you guys because your time is very important to me. Okay, good. All right, thank you for everybody who shared this. We have 266 folks in here, and we have 102 thumbs up, okay? Beautiful, thank you. Here we go. Let's keep going. So now, in regards to the strumming, guys, that's why I'm giving you the course, and that's why you need to go through the exercises. But I can promise you, if you actually do that, you ain't gonna have any problems with your strumming. You'll have it down. It's not rocket science, but like anything, I say this all the time, look, other than basic bodily functions that you could do as a baby, crying, pooping, peeing, eating, sleeping, I don't know, like basic stuff. Every other thing that you do today, you learned. Driving a car, talking on a cell phone, typing an email. So pat yourself on the back. You learned a lot of tasks in life. And guitar is no different, neither is karate or soccer or any skill that you acquire through practice, but more importantly, understanding how to break things down. Because if you understand, then the brain goes, oh, it's like math. If you just throw math in front of somebody who's 40 years old and they've never seen math, or someone who's illiterate, and go ahead and read that, I don't understand, you're 40 years old, you should be able to read that. No, because no one took the time to break it down for them. That's why somebody who's 40 may not be able to read, and yet there are 3-year-olds who are able to read because they were shown how to do that. Does that make sense? So in the same way, guitar is the exact same way. You just have to be shown the right way from someone who knows what they're doing, someone who's passionate, and that's the way to learn, okay? All right, here we go. So let's talk about the next part, which is, and then we're gonna do another winner, but let's talk about clean chords here for a minute, okay? Or just let's talk about playing cleanly, okay? So first off, when we're fretting, there's a few things that you wanna do. So first off, most people, when they grab the guitar at first, they do this bit, right? They put their thumb over the neck. It makes sense because we're so used to, for thousands of years, battle axes and shovels and whatever, like stuff that we actually use every single day, right? And we don't want to drop them, so we take our thumbs and we wrap them around like this. Well, when it comes to the guitar, doing that right there is kind of the kiss of death. Now, what I mean by that is it's the kiss of death for beginners. You'll see Stevie Ray Vaughan do this all the time. I do this all the time, right? There's my thumb right over the top. Dear Lord, that's hot. That's really hot. Turn that down some. Right, so do as I say, not as I do. What I mean by that is, for the beginner, bringing your thumb over the top is really going to impede you, because it's kind of like this. It's kind of like anything that you get good at, right? You got to learn the rules first and why it is that we're doing it, and then later on you can kind of work around the rules a little bit or a lot of it if you get the job done. At the end of the day, if you play the chord, no one cares if your thumb's over the top of the neck or not. It's not like it's looked down upon, okay? It is in classical guitar, but not in any other guitar, okay? So, number one, don't keep your thumb over the neck unless you've been playing for a long time and you can do it. So take your thumb, drop it down. Why? Now watch what happens with my hand. Right now, I could reach that fret, but I can't reach much other, and I'm definitely not playing on my fingertip, which we're gonna get to that in a minute. But if I take my thumb and I drop it, now all that slack allows me to reach further and play on my fingertips much easier and everything else. Now I hear a lot of people go, man, you don't know, you don't understand, Eric. I play on my fingertips. I have this old army injury or whatever. Look at my hands, number one. You want to talk about deformed? Look at this pinky. See how it's bent like that? Look at this finger. See how it's bent? This thumb. See how it's bent? My fingernails. I got problems with my fingernails. 5 of my 10 digits are messed up from dog bites. I had a 150-pound Rottweiler nearly take my whole hand off, but definitely this digit right here. I had 40 stitches. It was a mess. About a year later, my own dog bit me because he was getting in a fight with my other dog because they have territorial things. Nonetheless, been bitten on this hand a lot. Had massive arthritis when I was younger, when I was not eating so well in college. So 5 of my fingers are permanently deformed. I don't have arthritis anymore because I eat right now. But all that being said, I know everybody's got issues. So you can either stay there in the excuses, or you can move beyond them and just deal with the cards that have been dealt with you, okay? I'm not saying that I don't have empathy, but like empathy isn't going to help you. So let's get beyond the empathy now. Let's learn, and let's go with the cards that have been dealt with us, okay? So drop your thumb. It's going to help you a lot, no matter what you've done. And if you want some inspiration, check out Django Reinhardt, one of the best guitar players of all times. Effectively could only use 2 fingers. He could get one of these fingers every now and then to work, but for the most part, just 2 fingers. He was in an accident, and but just check him out, Django Reinhardt, and you'll be really encouraged. Okay, so back to fretting. So dropping that thumb is going to give you the necessary slack to get your fingers out front. Is this awkward at first? Yeah, it's like walking on your tiptoes, because in order to get good fretting, what we need to do is we need to play on our fingertips. With all of my students, with all of my one-on-one students, I take a Sharpie, and this is what I do. I take a Sharpie the first day, and I put little dots right here on the tips of their fingers, just like that, okay? And the reason that I do that is if they're playing and those dots are looking up at them like that, then they know immediately they're not playing on their fingertips. Because those dots, you should not be able to see that. So people go, oh, I'm playing on my fingertips. Sure I am, I'm playing on my fingertips. No, you ain't. Playing on your fingertips looks like this. It's a curled knuckle. Notice my hand, and notice that space in between the webbing of my hand and the neck. Do you notice that? There's like a big hole there. I'm not doing this because that's not going to help me so much, right? So we definitively want to play on our fingertips. The more you play on your fingertips, the more awkward it will feel in the beginning until you get good at it. Remember, there is no guitar player. I don't mean Hendrix, Eddie Van Halen, name a guitar player, they all had difficulties. The same exact difficulties that you have issues with, okay? It's just that what you're seeing now that they're good, because you don't want to be looking at someone who sucks on guitar, right? Like, you're not going to see them on America's Got Talent or something, or on the internet. I mean, there are guys out there playing that aren't very good, right? But like, you know, at the end of the day, you practice and then you get better. There is no magic pill or magic formula. It's only practice. So let's just embrace that and do that, okay? But if we understand the few things that we need to do to get there, to get us there much quicker, then if we know the rules, then it's going to help a ton. So there you go. So I'm playing on my fingertips, and again, the dots there allow me to know. Now if I look down, I don't see any dots. I'm definitely playing on my fingertips. But if I have a problem here, you know, on that chord, and I can go, well, I'm seeing that dot. Well, that dot, I shouldn't be seeing that dot at all. From this vantage point, right? If I'm looking down like this, I shouldn't be seeing that at all. So thumb behind the neck allows you to play on your fingertips, okay? And what that allows you to do is that allows you to clear the strings, because if you notice, these fingers are so close to I'm fingering this string, but the string underneath it, if I'm doing that, now I'm touching that note, right? I'm touching the fourth string. I'm fretting the fifth string, so that should sound if I'm playing on my fingertip. But if I'm playing like this, I'm muting that fourth string. Now watch what happens. This is, by the way, it may seem really elementary. This is the only thing that you need to do to get clean fretting, chords, licks, or otherwise. Now, obviously, you need to practice this just like the strumming, but this is literally everything that you need to do in order to fret correctly. Everything. Nothing else you need. Okay, so except for what I'm going to tell you here. All right, so dropping the thumb, playing on your fingertips, and playing close to the fret. Okay, now this is a bonus because, like, I could play this note. I could play it back here, but the further I go back, the less pressure I have, just mathematically here, right? Just physics-wise. Because I'm back here, I'm not even where I should be. This is the fret that needs to be playing, so I just need to be closer up. By the way, everything I'm showing you right now is covered in the course that I'm giving you, okay? So you don't have to, like, worry that you're not getting it all right now, okay? So playing on your fingertips, playing close to the frets, and here's a bonus too. If you just think about curling this last knuckle, okay? Put your hand up like that, and curl that as much as you can. Curl the very tip of your finger here, that last knuckle, curl it as much as possible. And that's essentially the mentality that you want to be in when you're playing your chords. So if you have any sort of like issue when you're strumming and it sounds like this, now some people may say, well, that sounds like a great chord. Well, it doesn't, because listen, muted. So two notes are muted there. What would it sound like if I didn't mute them? Ah, there we go. Now the only thing I did, notice my hand here. Right? Only thing I'm doing, watch this. I just think about that last knuckle and I curl it more. I think about pointing it towards the sky, those knuckles. Now this is something that once you get the concept of, you're gonna be like, oh, it's on. Like, I get it. Then obviously you have to practice it, but you have to get it one time for you to know what the goal is. And if you don't get it that one time, then you don't know what you're even going after. So you got to get it one time. And the only way for you to get anything, by the way, is to try it. There's nothing that we've ever accomplished in the history of ever that we couldn't do, that we could not do before. Doesn't matter what it is. So the whole idea of, well, I can't do it, I'm having a hard... Of course you can't do it. Why would you be able to do it if you've never practiced it before? Like, do you think of yourself as some like person that just can get this stuff and don't have to practice when all of us have to practice? No, you can get it, but you have to do it through practice, okay? So get the concept, and again, I go over this in the course, so we don't need to talk about it too much more here. Well, we're not going to talk about it at all anymore because I'm going to give something away because I love giving stuff away, right? All right, so real quick now, for those of you who have joined us, let me tell you really quickly what we're doing. We're giving tons of stuff away. I'm gonna go with you yet another half hour. I've taught you, you know, at the end of the day, it comes down to left hand and right hand and mentally what's happening on the fretboard. That's the next part that we're going to be getting to on how to dominate the fretboard with ease. There's a free course, link is in the description of this video. Then in a half hour, in less than a half hour now, in 25 minutes, I'll be answering your questions in real time, somewhere around that time. I'll be doing that yet for another hour. Other things you need to think about is we're still giving away tons of stuff. I'm going to be doing a winner here in just a minute. But then also we're kicking off the most massive sale that we have done, honestly, ever, because my course has grown so big over the years that we've packed it so much in it that we've never had a price for what we're presenting today, the amount of content. We've never had this price before. So normally a lifetime membership to the Unstoppable Guitar System Pro, which also includes the 365 guitar plan. If you need to know more about that, links in the description, take you to the page that will give you all the detail that you need. That course is normally $686. People buy it all the live long day and have for years. Today, we're doing it for $299. That's literally $386 in your pocket immediately. That's not a joke. There's no hoops to jump through. It's just, if you're watching this, sometimes you're in the right place at the right time, and there's a sign, okay? So that's number one. Number two, if you want to go platinum, meaning every single thing, including the Unstoppable Guitar System Pro, 365, and every single course, every single jam track, visual jam track, and everything else, books and everything else that we've ever done, normally that's $1,197, and we're doing it for $897 today. That's $300 off. We have never done this. Will we do it again? I don't know. We've never done it, so I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever do it again. But there you go. And if you want individual courses, those are 40% off everything else, okay? There you go. Now, if you're a pro member already and you want to upgrade to platinum, be looking out for an email from us. Make sure you're on the email list. If you're in pro, you should be, unless you've unsubscribed, which you shouldn't do. But if you need to get back on the list, then go download the Dominate the Fretboard or sign up for the Dominate the Fretboard course, which is free for you today. That covers everything we're talking about, but in higher detail, along with PDFs and everything else. Make sure you get that course for free today. Okay, let's do a giveaway. Make sense? Everything? Everybody? Yeah? Good? Okay, so here we go. So here is for another Dueling Ninja pedal and a $100 gift certificate to the Unstoppable a $100 gift certificate to anything in our store. So you literally could use it for this today. I mean, you could get the whole enchilada for $199, or get platinum for, if you apply that $100 gift certificate, you could literally get. It's bonkers. I'm giving stuff away. I'm kind of It's bonkers. All right, so here we go. Here's another giveaway. So Ninja pedal and $100 off of the store. And our next winner is Mike Livati. Mike Livati, Livoti. Okay, Mike will probably put that in the comments, okay? All right, let's keep going. I'm running a little bit short on time. Here we go. Let's go. All right, so let's talk about the number system. Okay, man, guys, let me tell you this. Why didn't my guitar teacher share this with me? It's crazy. It's such an easy way to understand music that a baby could do it. Because if you can count to 7, you can do this. By the way, thank you so much for everybody who's liked this and for everybody who's shared this. We have 292 folks here. Let's try to break 300. So be part of this, man, and share this with folks on media and everything else, and let them know that we're giving away a ton of stuff and the free course and everything else. I would very much appreciate that. At the very least, like the video, okay? Thank you. All right, here we go. Let's talk about the number system. The number system for me is one of those things. There's a handful of things that to me, if I only had those things, I would absolutely be able to, that's all I need, really. It's like 99% of everything that I need. And honestly, it's all that I go to anyhow. I have all these other things that I've learned and what have you, but I just don't use them as often. The number system, however, is bonkers. Some people call it the Nashville number system. It can just be referred to as the number system. Nashville number system is more about like the way that we write it for charts so that we can go into the studio and create a song the first take. Been in many, many sessions where everybody involved, like they put the chart in front of you, you go, and the very first time everybody gets it. And they've never heard the song before, or they've maybe heard it, you know, on a work tape, and then we're in the studio, we got the chart in front of us, and bingo bango, it's done the very first time. At worst, I've seen it maybe the third time. You know, you get a good feel and everybody's like, that one felt great. Yeah, I got a couple overdubs in the chorus section or whatever, and they do that. They're using the Nashville number system, also known as the number system, and so let's talk about it. So now, I'm gonna go through this part really quickly. So some of this isn't gonna hit for you because we're going through it so quickly. Again, that's why I'm giving you the course, so that you can go through this stuff and truly understand it, okay? So, the major scale is the de facto everything measurement ruler for music. Every minor key and every Greek mode, every major key, it all goes to the major scale. That's how we determine what the sharps and flats are. It's how we determine all of our chords, major, minor, diminished, all of the extensions, jazz extensions. We're not going to get into all that today, but nonetheless, if you know the major scale and you know how to, and in my course is replete with them, with this understanding, if you understand the basics of it, you can do so much, okay? So let's talk about it. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm just going to be showing you the major scale and how to understand the chords that go along with it. Because if we get much further than that, it's going to be hours, and I don't want to keep you here that long, okay? I want to give stuff away. I want to get to your questions, okay? But essentially, let's talk about this. So the major scale, you've heard it a million times because 99.9% of absolutely everything that you hear is related to the major scale, even if it's in a minor key or in a mode, what we call a Greek mode, which is very, 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 very rare. Okay, probably 0.5% of anything or less than that is written in a Greek mode. Okay, so everything else is written in a major key or in a minor key, and the minor key is a derivative of the major scale, and so are all the Greek modes. So here you go. The major scale goes like this. You can take any note. This is a G, okay? And the distance between one fret and the next is a half step. 2 half steps is called a whole step. So if I go from here, the 3rd fret, to the 4th fret, that is a half step. And if I go from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret, that's a whole step, okay? So the construction of the major scale goes whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. You don't have to remember this because I have it for you in the course, but WWH, WWWH. 2 W's in an H, 3 W's in an H. Now watch this. I'm going to play this note. You will instantly be able to play any major key on the guitar anywhere right after I show you this. Literally, you'll be able to play any scale in any key. Here you go. Watch this. This is a G. Okay? Now, I'm just going to follow this pattern. Whole step, half step, whole, half. Or WWH, WWWH, or 2 W's and an H, 3 W's and an H. Whatever, how you want to look at it. Here we go. So I play the first note. And I go a whole step. I go another whole step. Half step. Whole step. Whole step. Whole step. Half step. Now that sounded very pleasant to the ear, didn't it? There's so many different ways that we can play this. Because notes duplicate on the guitar. Don't worry about that right now. Just know there's many, many different ways to do it, but if you have that sound, it's all the same. It's a major scale, okay? Now, that's in the key of G. If we wanted to play that in the key of G sharp, the only thing we need to do is bump it up a half step. We wanted to move it to the key of A. Now I'm showing you a pattern here, but you could just do that same thing. This is just a shortcut I'm doing. We're not going to go over that right now. But I can play every single key just like this, and I don't have to know the sharps and flats. I mean, I could tell you what they are, but I never use them. I hardly ever use them. So, you know, it'd take me a minute to do it. It'd take me a few seconds to go, okay, I need to identify the notes because I don't use them. So why do I do it? It's not like I'm going to get a brownie button or something for doing it. So you just know where the notes are. This is like how the majority of guitar players play. They're not worrying about the notes unless they're reading music, okay? If you're reading music, if you're a classical guitar player, then yeah, you need to know where the notes are because you're literally reading off of paper. But you're usually only in this section. It's rare that you come up here. You do. I was a classical guitar major for 3 years before I changed my major, but you do come up here and you do need to know how to read those notes, but usually it's all down here. Like literally 95% of what you do or more is down in this section, and that's easy enough to remember over some time. Okay, so that's the major scale. Now, instead of going G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, instead of having to know the notes like that, what we do is we name them by the number. So once you have the numbers, once you have the notes down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Doesn't matter how you play it, it's the same notes, okay? Now, why that's so helpful is the sharps and flats don't matter. Do you care if Stevie Ray Vaughan would play and would know the name of a note? Like, what do you care? I don't care. I want him to play some blues and I want him to entertain my ears. Like, he's not entertaining my brain, entertain my ears, and so he doesn't have to know the names of the notes, right? And so because of that, I can play the scale and do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And I play the same pattern every single time. This is how we can play, you know, licks and solos in a particular key. You know, it's basically just I'm playing in different keys, but I'm playing patterns, and I couldn't tell you any of those notes off the top of my head. It would take me a second to figure them out because we just don't think about them like that. There's just not a need for it, usually. Most never. At least I've done it for 40 years now without having to know that. Okay, and again, I know it, but I don't use it ever because it's not useful to me, and most guitar players it's not, so why am I spending time doing that? And that's how I teach, by the way, as I teach you the stuff that you need to know, because dear Lord, there's 10 billion times more of the information out there. We have to learn in today's world especially, what is it that we actually need to know? That's a great question, and then go after it that way instead of like, well, I need to know everything. No. By the way, thank you so much for sharing, everybody. We made it over 300, and we have 175 likes, so that was very, very kind of you. Thank you. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so now, that's the number system, right? And so, well, how does that help? Well, it does help because later on when we get into building chords, a chord is 3 or more notes played at once. I'm going to kind of get in the weeds here, but for those of you that understand, if I build a chord off of each one of these notes, when we harmonize, harmonizing is when we play more than one note at a time, and typically when we harmonize, we want to use notes that are harmonic or that sound nice. It's not to say you can't play an interval or a harmony like this, but it's not very harmonic sounding. It doesn't sound very nice. This one, those sound better. But this one doesn't sound very good. So what we do is when we use our scale, we skip notes, because if the notes are right on top of each other like that, it sounds weird. So what we do is we skip notes. So in the case of a 1 chord, which is based off of the 1 note, then we go 1, skip over the 2, play the 3, skip over the 4 and play the 5. That's what we call a triad. So we would play the 1, the 3, and the 5. The 3 and the 5 are on the same string, so let's move the 5 down to the next string. Because the guitar is cool like that, we can do that. It's not like the piano where we just one middle C is middle C. We don't get a choice of another middle C. On guitar, you can play the same note, E, 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 E. Pretty cool, right? So many different places. Same on the guitar. How cool is that? You can play it in different places. So here you go. 1, 3, 5 is 1, 3, 5. And that's where we get our G chord from. It's just the rest of it are other 1s and 3s and 5s. Then if we did the 2, skip over the 3, play the 4, skip over the 5 and play the 6, then we have 2, 4, 6. That one sounds sad. That's an A minor chord. That's another form of it. Now, if you're wondering why I did this and then did this, it's because there's so many different ways to play a chord. But if we're using the ingredients, right? Like if you're making a chili and it's got beans and meat and sauce in it, you know, red sauce, it's like, well, 100 people could make chili and it's all going to taste different, you know, varieties of it, but it's going to taste like chili. It's not going to taste like mac and cheese, right? So here you go. So here's an A minor chord. Here's an A minor chord. Whoops, sorry. No, that's not. There's so many different ways that we can play this, right? So, all that being said, then we get our chords from that. So if someone says play a 1 chord or 4 chord and a 5 chord, what happens is because of the major scale, we get all these different flavored chords. And I'm just going to tell them to you real quick because we're not getting in the weeds because I need to do another giveaway here in just a second. And the chords go like this. In a major key, it's a major 1, a minor 2, a minor 3, major 4, major 5, minor 6, diminished 7. Now some of you are like, dear Lord, that's too much information. It's not. Think about this. If you understand what a major chord is and a minor chord, then you got 6 out of the 7 chords. Don't worry about the diminished chord. We rarely ever use it. We use it in jazz a lot. But if you're not playing jazz, you're rarely ever, if you're playing pop music and rock and you know, country and blues, you probably can go a whole lifetime and never run across a diminished chord. Okay? Some pop music, you might find a diminished chord. You know, rock music like Yngwie Malmsteen or something, you're going to find diminished music all the time, diminished chords, but that one specific artist, you're not going to find it in many others, you know. Even other heavy metal like Iron Maiden or Judas Priest, they just don't use diminished chords. They rarely ever use them, ever. So here you go. If you know what a major chord is and a minor chord, you know, if you don't, I've got plenty of videos, free videos for you to help you with that. But essentially, you know, if we know that the 1 is major, then I just play a major chord right there. Right? Here's minor, I lift that finger up. So here, no, 1 is major. The 2 is minor, I lift the finger up. The 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, 7 is the diminished one, and then back to major. Okay, and you could do this for every single key because every single key follows that same pattern: major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. When I found this out, my mind was blown because I was like, well, that makes sense why all, and if you take all these pop songs that I'm teaching you all the time on Instagram or whatever, they always fall into this, like 99% of it. There are, every now and then you can alter these chords, right? And ooh, the UPS man is coming. What's he bringing? Maybe a guitar. Maybe Santa's bringing me a guitar. Here he comes. Okay, so yeah, it works out for every single key. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. I see somebody said that D minor is the saddest of all keys. Todd said that. Go for Todd. It's true. The saddest of all keys. Instantaneously weep, as they said in Spinal Tap. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, Christine just had an epiphany. Oh, good, love it. And I'm not sure why this is so dang small, but let's do another giveaway here, my friends. Yeah, so this is so cool, man. Like I said, this, like, to me, to understand that and then to start realizing it. So it's one thing to understand it, and that's great. Again, right, just like the strumming or the finger pick or the picking thing, the fretting or the picking, it's like once you understand it, that's number one, because for you to, you're not going to be able to see it in other things if somebody doesn't show you in this kind of controlled setting. But then what you do is you start analyzing songs. Take simple songs, man. Take these Christmas songs that I'm putting up right now and analyze it. Okay, well, he's starting off on an A, so he must be in the key of A. Okay, well, then he goes to a D, so, okay, well, A. Well, there's the D, so that should be major. Oh, look at it is. Away in A major. So the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that must be major. Okay, it is. So A major. Then the D major, A, right? It all falls in. It works out just perfectly. We're up to 306 people. Beautiful. Thank you so much, guys. All right, so does that make sense? It really, if you go down this rabbit hole and you start analyzing some songs, just take simple songs at first. That's all you need. You don't need to do something complex and get a Bach chorale or something like that. You don't have to do that. Simple folk songs, country songs is going to help blues chord progression. Then you're just looking at the chord progression. 99% it will fall into line here. Like I said, you can go outside of this matrix, but this is what sounds good and pleasant to the ear. It's kind of like if you think about color palettes, right? Certain colors complement other colors. Why? I don't know. If you talk to somebody about that, there's probably something in the brain that says, oh yeah, this one works well with this one, but not so much with this one. Like, for instance, I think yellow and orange might work well together, or yellow and green might work together, but like say orange and blue may not work together. I don't know, I'm just guessing. I don't know much about that sort of thing, but I do know that there's some theory behind that, color theory and what have you. Same thing's true with music. So 99% of the time, it's gonna abide by these things, and you can alter those things. Check out Borrowed Chords. I have a course on it, I have videos on it, what have you. But what you don't wanna do is like, well, I want to learn about the borrowed chords because those are different. And then you don't learn the foundational stuff, because the foundational stuff is the stuff you use 99% of the time, whereas the borrowed chords are things you're hardly ever going to use. And you're not going to know why they're cool because you don't know what's different about the standard, right? The traditional. So learn that stuff first and then go into that other stuff and learn that. Okay, here we go. Let's do some giveaways and then we're going to get to some questions. Friends, we have a grand prize winner that Mike just sent to me, and then we have a we have a first prize winner, and then we have a grand prize winner. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so Mike just sent me this. This is the first place winner. Right there it is. He just sent it to me, and here we go. This is to win YGS Platinum, friends. This includes Unstoppable Guitar System Pro. It includes the 365. It includes all of our artist courses. So I've done I've created courses for RJ Ronquillo. I've done it for Corey Congilio, different last names. Done it for, we have several with Jeff Duke. We've got a jazz course through Chip Henderson. We've got a worship course. We have songwriting courses. We've got all the visual jam tracks. Anyhow, YGS Platinum includes everything in UGS Pro, everything in 365, and all of those other courses. It's literally like thousands of dollars worth of courses in one umbrella. You get everything, access to everything now, and everything that we put in the store in the future. What? There's nothing like that. Yeah, there is. YGS Platinum. All right, so you literally get everything today and everything in the future. Bam. What? And that's what we're giving away right now. Okay, so this goes out to David Robbins. David, congratulations, my friend. David Robbins is our YGS Platinum winner. Okay, so, oh, and by the way, friends, all these winners, you will get an email from us. Do not, if someone, messages you on social or in YouTube or something, there's scammers that are always trying to ride these things that we do, these giveaways, and they'll be like, hey, we got this guitar and we want to send it to you, but we just need shipping money. I'm paying for this shipping. No one, you know what I mean? So like, don't fall for any sort of goofy ass thing where people are trying to cheat you. Okay, it's unfortunate. But we got some losers in the world that do this thing, So we're not doing that. We're going to pay for the shipping and everything else. So you will get an email directly from us, okay? All right, and Mike, I'll wait for you, but we need the last one, which is the winner of this beautiful guitar, which, by the way, guys, this guitar, PRS, if you don't know PRS, they are an amazing company. Paul Reed Smith, he is a legend in the guitar making industry. I think they just celebrated 40 years. Anybody who knows guitars knows that PRS, they make, honestly and arguably, one of the best guitars, definitely one of the best, maybe the best guitar, especially for the price. But they have super high-end guitars down to this particular one, which is, I don't understand what makes this like the affordable model, except it's $499. You can buy this for $499. And the thing plays like a friggin' dream. I have two guitars. I mean, I have many, many guitars, but there are two guitars that I love, that I play all the time. Since I got this one, I play this one all the time. It plays like a rock star. Well, it's going away. I'll be shipping it out tomorrow, but my goodness gracious, it plays wonderfully. They're going to send me another one, but this one's going away. The other guitar that I play all the time is my EVH, that Eddie Van Halen guitar. It just plays like a race car, like a race car would drive. And this, the intonation on it, the tuning stability, the whammy bar, just everything stays in tune. Pickups are hot. It's a fantastic guitar. Anyhow, we're going to be giving this one away. But check out PRS, and this specific one, the CE is literally $499, and look at that metallic gold. I mean, it's just, it's such a beautiful guitar. It's perfect for what I do here too, because it's not too shiny, so it's not like reflecting. So I love it. But that's the metallic blue right there. Okay, so let's do this giveaway here. And so again, now the last winner won Platinum, which is normally an $1197 product. Okay, we're doing it for $300 off. I'll go over those again right before we do the questions here. Let's do another giveaway. All right, so this is a grand prize winner. This person is going to win this guitar and the Platinum membership. What? Yeah, so literally they're going to get that guitar and a lifetime of every single thing that I ever produce. What the flip? Are you crazy, Eric? I am. I'm crazy. So here it is. You ready? Drum roll. Do I have a drum roll? Oh, I do. I have a timpani roll. Here we go. Peggy Cass. Peggy Cass is the winner. All right? Yeah. And then the timpani roll again, okay? Okay, good, 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 good. Why is it playing that stupid timpani roll? Okay. All right, there you go. Fun with the electronics there. Okay, so there are winners. All right, so now let's get into some questions. I want to get to your questions in real time, okay? And my gosh, we're up to 320 folks. Ho! That's beautiful. And 204 thumbs up, likes by you guys. Beautiful people. Thank you so much. Okay, so real quick, let's get into some questions, but let me go over everything with you. If you just joined us, real quick, links in the description of this video. I have gone over today on how to dominate the fretboard with ease, but I've given you a course that's even going to go into more detail. But here I'll be able to get your questions in real time. But that full course is replete with PDFs, step by step. It's going to take you there. We're going to cover fretting. We're going to cover strumming, and this is in high detail. This isn't just ooh, strumming. You hit the strings and you fret the guitar. It's not like that. It's like high detail. All right, and then the number system and everything else. So take advantage of that. But then also kicking off today, we have prices on courses that we have never ever done. Okay, number one, UGS Pro is normally $686. We're doing $385. No, it's normally $685. We're doing $386 off today. So it's $299 instead of $686. So if you want a lifetime of lessons I mean, look, anybody that's in Pro, give a thumbs up or just say Pro and let folks know that we're not playing around here. This is absolutely an amazing product. It's a lifetime of lessons. Over 1,000 lessons, including 365 Pro. So please give your support for Pro and say Pro in the comments and let folks know. If it's changed your life, let other folks know, okay? Lifetime membership, you get 3 lives with me just like this every single month where I answer your questions in real time. You get email responses from me inside the program. You get just an insane amount of things. Follow the link if you want to know more about what's in there, okay? And that's literally $386 off today, okay? Now, Platinum is $300 off. We've never done that. It's normally $1,197. You get Pro, you get 365, you get all the courses, the songwriting course, the blues courses, the fingerstyle courses. I didn't even mention flipping Joe Robinson, three beautiful Joe Robinson courses. I think 3 or 4 Corey Congilio courses, so much. Okay, anyhow, that all comes in Platinum, and that, friends, is $300 off today. Normally it's $1,197, it's $897 today. All the other courses are 40% off. So if you have tons of stuff, or you're like, dude, I don't want all that stuff, I just want this one thing. Like, let's say our visual jam tracks, friends, if you don't have our visual jam tracks, you need to check that section out. 40% off that stuff right now. Okay, let's get into some questions. I think I've covered everything. Pretty sure I've covered everything. So let's get into some questions here, okay? Thank you, Brad, that's so nice. It's a generational system. Thank you. Thank you, Beth, absolutely. So what Beth is talking about there is for veterans. Now, we've changed it recently here, but for veterans, for U.S. veterans or those that are currently enlisted U.S., we're doing $500 off of the course. Normally, like up until recently here, we've given it away. We've given away over, I believe it's $3 million worth of courses we've given away to veterans. Over $3 million. Because of the cost that's associated with that, with setting people up and vetting, you know, all that stuff, it is way more work than you could imagine. It's not just like, oh, here you go. It's like, it's a lot of work. Anyhow, that being said, we've had to change that model, but we're doing $500 off for our veterans. So if you're a veteran, take advantage of it. Go to YourGuitarSage.com/veterans, or just go to YourGuitarSage.com and hit the veterans tab, and you'll see what I'm talking about, okay? Okay, beautiful. All these folks, pro, beautiful. I won't post all of these, but thank you so much. Just look in the description there, all these folks. talking about pro, I told them to give a thumbs up as well. So there you go. Okay, tons of folks in pro already. Okay, so if you have any questions at all, leave your questions in the comments here. And my beautiful team of pro members and platinum members. Oh, look, Holger went to platinum. Beautiful. They will answer those questions for you in real time. Okay, and I will too, and Mike will too. So here we go. Okay, so let's get into some questions. So BC Rich 58.1 is saying, some time ago you showed a real difficult descending exercises with the index fingers stretching, extending in a descending pattern, and I can't recall it. Can you illustrate it again? Okay, yeah, possibly you are talking about, you might be talking about this exercise. This is what I call exercise number 2. If you don't want to buy a course from me, that's okay. You can look this up on YouTube. This is what I call exercise number 2, and essentially what it does is it helps with positioning your thumb and what have you for stretching. And essentially you do this. I think this is what you're talking about. So what I do is I just play, my fingers are a set of stairs here. This is not very musical. It's just made to get those fingers moving and to be able to do it without having to think too much. So you could do this just while you're watching TV. So I go through the arpeggio, I move the one finger down, these guys stay. Play the arpeggio again, I move the next finger. Gotta have that thumb behind the back of the neck, because if you don't, let's see, there you go, right? If you don't, it's not gonna work. You can't have your thumb on the top of the neck. So this will teach you how to do that. And so on and so forth. Also get your sweep picking down really nicely, okay? Okay, beautiful. All right, let's, oh, my questions are jacked up here. Okay. Okay, Franz is saying, I'm learning the beautiful solo for Eric Clapton's unplugged version of Old Love. There are lots of notes and phrases. What is your technique for learning this type of piece? Okay, as I teach in all my programs, Franz, my method is what I call the slow it down, break it down. Okay, I'm moving this light over so it's not so apparent. I'd rather you guys think that I'm some sort of angelic being here than to know that I'm just using a light to do that. Okay, see? Oh. All right, so Franz, slow it down, break it down. What you do is you take a big thing and you break it down. If I gave you a giant sub to eat, you wouldn't, because you couldn't, devour it all in one bite. But for some reason, as beings, as humans, we think that we can learn something instantly, right? And there may be some methods for that, but as far as I know so far, you got to learn things sequentially, and you have to learn them in the right syntax, the right order, and you learn them and you have to really get it, right? So for the same reason that you don't learn division and quadratic equations before you learn multiplication, you don't learn multiplication before you learn subtraction, you don't learn subtraction before you learn addition, right? There's an order to this because it makes common sense to do this. And so, Franz, what I would do is I would take, you can follow the course that I have, breaking down how to break down a solo, and then I have another one, how to break down a fingerstyle piece. And essentially what it does is it mentally, yes, I'm showing you how to break down a piece and you'll be able to walk away with that, but more than anything, it's the mental ability to understand how to break these things down. Does that make sense? So, it's one step at a time. If you have 1,000 notes, you don't look at 1,000 notes. If you have a sub, if you have a $5 foot long, you don't try to eat it all in one bite. You take one bite, and not only do you take one bite, you have to chew it up, and then your mouth knows when it's time to swallow that and then to eat another bite. But we don't know this when we're learning, and we try to learn too much, and then we just get frustrated, and then we think, God, I suck at this. I'm terrible. I've always been bad at things. My dad always told me that I was bad at things, and then all the words come in and what have you, and it's like, slow your roll, man. You're not bad at things. You're probably not giving yourself enough time to learn things. Okay, and there may be something in your past or whatever that got you to that place with, you know, maybe someone who was rushing you through things as a child that made an impression on you or something. But slow down and have fun. This is why we call it playing guitars. It should be like heaps of fun. And it is, if you just kind of take it a bit at a time and realize that it's not, you know, you don't have to learn that song in a day or you're going to die. You know, it's like, no, take your time and let your brain learn it in the amount of time that it takes to do it, okay? All right. Timothy is saying, why are there so many types of string sizes and which one is the best for standard hard body electric? That's a great question, Timothy, because people like different string gauges, right? For the same reason that some people lift different size weights, the reason that we have different string gauges is because some people like different strings of different gauges, because some people like them to be slinkier, whereas maybe, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan would play 12s and 13s. He also tuned his guitar down a half step, which made it a little looser, but he used very thick strings. Over the years, I've always played 10s for decades, and then I started considering other string gauges because my guitar tech, Greg Ellis, who I've done courses with, you guys have seen him, then, you know, he said, hey, have you ever thought about trying some different gauges? And I said, no, I haven't. I've done it before, but it was like early on in my playing. So yeah, let's give that a try. So he went through my guitars and, you know, for all of my Fender guitars, I use 8s. I think 8 through like 38 or something like that. They're thinner strings. And then for my Gibson guitars, I play 9 through whatever it is, 42, something like that. And so I went down in several of those, and oh my gosh, it's literally like the difference between, it's just so much easier playing with thinner strings, and it doesn't sound, you know, if you ask some of the experts, they'll say that you actually get more definition from the thinner strings, and that you get more clarity. So that's why I did it. I did it mainly because I really didn't hear any difference. You know, I would have to A/B it, and I would have to have the same guitar with 2 sets of strings, and I'd have to have them playing at the same time for me to actually even hear a difference. You know what I mean? To try to hear a difference, and I don't know how one would do that. So that being, other than maybe recording it, which I'm not going to go through all that trouble. I just know that it plays so much better. All my guitars play so much better now that I've gotten thinner strings, and I play all day long with it. Whereas when I was playing with the 10s, if I didn't play the guitar for a few days and then I had a rage guitar solo session, my fingertips would feel it and my hands would feel it, and it wasn't very much fun. So I would suggest going with some thinner strings. For me, I'll tell you what, try this. It works for me. Go with 8s on Fender guitars, or ones with the longer length, because the necks are different between Fenders and Gibsons. The Gibsons are slightly shorter, which means that, remember, any body that's smaller is going to have a higher pitch. That's why, you know, Tweety birds sound really high and whales have a very low pitch, because the resonance of the cavity that's making the sound. So thinner strings are not going to need to be wound up as tightly, and smaller neck sizes are going to be higher in pitch, so you don't need to tune them up as much. So that's why it makes sense on a shorter scale to go with a thicker string. And if you want the guitars to feel similarly, so my Gibsons and my Fenders feel similar, but my Fenders have 8s and my Gibsons have 9s, you know. And then other guitars, like I just match them up according to the length of the neck. And you can do that, you know, research that with AI, like, oh, hey, I have a PRS guitar, I have a Gretsch guitar, what's the scale length? And it'll tell you, okay? Or do a little research online, all right? Okay, good. Patrick's saying, considering an Enya carbon fiber for my first guitar purchase, any downside as a first instrument? Patrick, I don't know that one for sure, but carbon fiber is pretty cool because they don't warp, which is great. So I don't know for sure. Okay. All right. Steven is saying, I have pins in both wrists and I'm unable to bend them around the neck properly. Any suggestions to help me practice? Steven, my challenge for you would be to forget that you have pins in your wrists and don't think that you can't bend them around the neck properly, because I'm not saying that you may not have some sort of something that's holding you back a little bit, but the more you think about it, the more you will use that as an excuse, and you won't know the difference between reality and what, have you ever believed, here, anybody listening right now, have you ever once believed in something and then didn't believe it because you found out more information, right? I have 10 million times in my life, so I've stopped being so dogmatic about things, and I have a little bit of grace, and I go, maybe not, you know what I mean? So Stephen, the number one thing I would say to do, if you were me, I'm not giving you advice, I'm saying what I tell myself is, I don't care what that I have deformed fingers. I have 5 deformed fingers and dog bites, and this finger doesn't bend back any further than that because of the dog bite, and I could go into a million reasons why I shouldn't be able to play, but I do. And if I just concentrate on the things the reasons why I can't, then I probably won't, because just like Ford said, right? He said, if you believe you can or if you believe you can't, you are correct both ways, because you create a paradigm and then you create that reality. It's just true. I won't get into that. You guys know what I'm talking about. Some of you know it more than others. If you do, say amen. Amen. But so other than that, Stephen, otherwise I would say, if you can't bend, the other advice going down the route of you can't do it, you're unable to, is, well, then don't. Just listen to music, Stephen. Then there you go, don't play guitar. But I don't think that's what you want to hear, number one. Number two, I don't believe that to be true whatsoever. Check out Django Reinhardt and see how he worked with 2 fingers, okay? You can do it, Stephen, trust me, okay? But you got to believe in it first, okay? And it's not like some psychobabble thing. The people that know, and the people that don't. And there's a good chance they never will, and that's sad, because they are they're a prisoner of their own mind and their own belief system. How do you win? You enter the contests. We did that already. So, but we're going to have more, okay? And we're ramping up with these again. We didn't do them for a while, but we're going to do it again. Okay, how would you suggest to use UGS Pro and the 365 guitar plan? Okay, when you buy UGS Pro, you get both. UGS Pro, start the beginner section. I have it beginner, intermediate, and advanced. I have things like chords, scales, or like chords, technique, theory, scales maybe, I'm not sure, but like 4 categories. So if you're in the advanced section of theory, but you haven't done the intermediate section or the beginner section, then you got to do that. The beginner section you should always go through in my course, okay? Just go through that, even if you do it at double speed or whatever. Just go through it, make sure you know everything, because I bet you $100 you don't. And if you think you do, then you're going to leave some stuff on the table, that really important stuff. So go to the beginner section, then go to the intermediate and figure out what you want to do. I want to learn some theory. Okay, start at the intermediate theory instead of the advanced theory. UGS Pro, there's a welcome video, walks you through this in detail, tells you exactly how to do it. You can't mess up if you watch that welcome video. 365 guitar plan, same thing. Welcome video tells you exactly how to do it. 1 exercise per day, go. And I give you the prescription exactly how to do it. Now, as far as like how to do both, do 1 exercise every day in 365 guitar plan, and then in UGS Pro, you go there to learn about the guitar. So you may take 4 hours one day and be learning and applying. And then another day, and then you may not come back to it for a couple days, and then, but the 365 you just do every single day. Make sense? Okay, beautiful. Boris is Pro, love it. Doug's late to the party. Glad you're here, buddy. Dennis, thank you so much. That's the songwriting course. If you're a songwriter, check it out. We've got a course. It's 40% off today. Okay. Which exercise do you recommend for finger independence training? Leslie, that's a great question. I believe I have the exercise for you in the free course today, but it's in almost all my courses. So it's the exercise, the 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise. It's a basic a basic exercise that will get you there pretty quickly, man, by doing this, by doing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? You'll get faster at it, and then you try 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, and I have like 24 different iterations of that. So Leslie, take advantage of that. I'm pretty sure that I included that in the Dominate the Fretboard. If I didn't, it's in other courses that I have for free, so just check that out. If you're in UGS Pro, obviously you have it, right? How would you suggest using UGS Pro and 365 together? I want to progress both at the same time. Give me some directions. All about all. Watch the welcome videos because I tell you exactly how to do it. 365 every single day. You know, it's basically 365 guitar playing, friends, is there are 7 areas of focus when it comes to dexterity on the guitar. This is the way my brain works. Well, there's 7 days of the week. What can I do with that? How can I help my students? Okay, well, we can hit every one of those 7 different areas every single week. And we start off on week 1, super easy. Doesn't matter when you start off. It'd be a great time to do it now because we got the 1st of January coming up and you could be right there lockstep. If you're anything anal retentive like me and like to do things by the year and that sort of thing, then you'd be a great time to do it. And we have, the 365 is 40% off today too, if you just want to go into that. Now that's just going to get your fingers moving. That's not going to get you, it's going to help a little bit mentally working around the guitar and stuff, but not like UGS Pro will. And why wouldn't you just take advantage of the ridiculous price that we have for UGS Pro right now? And UGS Pro, I would use that when you need it. Like, okay, hey man, I really want to learn swing guitar. I really want to learn fingerstyle. I really want to learn blues. Or I want to learn the cage system, the circle of fifths, blues turnarounds, blues riffs, soloing, whatever. Then you go to that specific section in the program, okay? But do them both for sure. And yes, you can do both of them. I want you to do both of them. 365 every single day, UGS Pro as you need it. That's more like a deep dive into things, okay? So it's kind of like this. If you become obsessed about your health, that's my number 1 priority in 2025 is my health. Because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything else. You can't serve other people. You can't work. You can't make money. You can't do anything. So number 1 in 2025 for me is health. Even more so than I have been before. But so for me, working out every day and doing the things that I know what to do every day, do those every day. That's 365. But UGS Pro would be like learning something new. Like if I go, oh wow, saunas are great for me. Let's learn about saunas and why that's good for my health. That would be UGS Pro, right? Or learning about cold water therapy, or learning about eating organic foods. Like why might that be better than eating GMO foods and that sort of thing. There you go. That's kind of the difference between the two. Okay. Tanmay is saying, I had a question. How can we practice active listening? Because whenever I'm playing or improvising, my brain gets super distracted. I would like to focus more on the sound. Okay, Tanmay. Okay, so here's the deal. What happens is a lot of times is you have so many different things to think about, okay, when it comes to anything, but especially when playing guitar, you might be like, well, I got my tone, and I got, well, should I be playing faster? Should I be playing less? Should I be playing more? Should I be playing on top of the chords? Should I be playing riffs from other people? Should I be playing my own riffs? What scale am I in? I mean, there's a million things that could come at you. So check out Minimalistic Blues. That's a course that I have inside of UGS Pro. It's also a course that you can buy separately right now for 40% off. That right there, I mean, in my opinion, the Minimalistic Blues is like one of the easiest things that you can do that's going to teach you a way to know the entire neck and to be able to play and to actively go, okay, I'm on this chord, so I'm going to play this particular note or what have you. So, also if there's distractions, if you're super distracted, then narrow your focus. play one jam track and play it for an hour over and over and over again. Don't do anything else. So take out other variables, okay? Oh, we just got a super chat. Oh, man, look at this. Jonathan, thank you, man. So kind. Super chat, $10 from Jonathan. Coffee on me. Thank you for your support and friendship. So kind, Jonathan. I really, truly appreciate that, my friend. We used to do this all the time. We'd get those super chats all the time. I never mention it, but super kind, super kind. Right here, Iggy's got it right. Tiny, consistent habits create success. There is no other way. Stop looking for some other way. It's tiny movements every single day on every single thing. Anything you want to get good at, do a little bit today. Do a little bit tomorrow. Just do it every single day. I can promise you. And the days that you do it a lot, you'll move forward a lot. But the point is to every single day be doing it, okay? Beautiful. Steve's in pro. Love, love, love. Okay. Do you recommend watching your video tutorial holding a guitar or putting the guitar aside and later practice on your own? Man, I recommend having, that's a great question, Will, having the guitar with you at that time so that you can stop the video and then do what I'm saying and then go, oh. Because if you're just watching it, it's one thing to hear it, it's another thing to actualize it, right? Someone can say, you know, if someone's blind, they could be describing something to somebody. What are you seeing, they say, and then you describe it to them. And yeah, obviously there's some mechanism in our brain that might try to visualize something, but if you've never seen before, it'd be very difficult to describe the sensation of seeing, right? Or if you say, what does chocolate taste like? And I'm like, wow, it tastes like, you know, like how would you describe that, right? It's another thing to just taste it. So man, I'm a big fan of experiencing things because you really know what things are like instead of just having people talk about it. So have the guitar with you for sure, okay? Lisa's saying, what kind of stool do folks use when playing? I have posture issues often when playing and I'm looking to get a comfortable stool. Man, I don't know which one this one is. I had a Fender, but I wouldn't overthink it. I would just make sure it has enough cushion for you, because if you're sitting for an hour or two, like here I am going on, you know, coming up on 2 hours, I'm still pretty comfortable in this. I mean, it's always nice to get up. I don't love sitting anyhow. So, but I should do these standing up from now on is what I should do, because I love standing. Why don't I do that? I'd have to have a taller backdrop. So, yeah. But I wouldn't overthink the stool thing. Just make sure it's got enough cushion and then sit in it. So you go to a music shop, there is a place that I can put my feet that's kind of maybe 1/3 of the way up. So I like that, of course, because then I've got some place to rest my knees. Because right now you can see my knee right there, and I could rest that. I can rest my guitar on that knee, but if my foot was hitting the ground, then it would look like that, and now it wants to slide off. So now it puts it at an even level, right? It's horizontal, perfectly horizontal. So make sure that you can do that. So I would just try some out. Again, it's better to just feel it. I don't know if there's a specific, you know, one that's better than another. Okay. That reminds Bradley that he needs to call his therapist. All right. Hey, Eric, for your workhorse guitar, what pickup configuration is your go-to and why? A double like PRS, or a 3 single, or a double single coil, or a double single double? Dennis, my configuration that to me works the best is a humbucker. An HSS, right? Like an HSS Strat. So a humbucker, so you can play that rocking stuff, right? And then 2 single coils so that you can get all the Stratty sounds out of it. And that to me is a workhorse guitar. I bet you if you asked 100 pro guitar players, they probably would say the same thing unless they're doing something specific. But like in the studio situation where you need to cover a lot of ground, it's humbucker single. I bet you 99 out of 100 guitar players would probably say the same thing. But unless they're doing something specific, right? So like if you're, like if you say for Gabriel the Bull, which by the way, the very first song that you heard in the beginning there was Gabriel the Bull, the band that I'm in. The song was called The Storm. It's not out yet. But check out Gabriel the Bull on YouTube and all of the, places where you can listen to music. And all those guitars, at least the electric guitars, that's me playing if you want to kind of hear more what I do aside from teaching. And I love that band, and I love everything that we do. I mean, it's just like, I'm in love with that band. I love it so much. The coolest band I've ever been in, and very, very proud and feel very honored to be in it. But that, for instance, that one, I have a 1959 Gretsch that I use all the time, my 6120. It's my love. I love it, love it, love it, love it. If I didn't have it, I'd have another Gretsch, which I do have another Gretsch. For when we play out in the desert and stuff like that and we're jumping around. I don't want to use that 59. I did that for the first 2 videos or so, and I don't want to do that anymore. It's like dangerous, right? Okay, good. All right. Okay, question. What do you recommend I do to improve my speed when playing fast licks? Caesar's asking. Caesar, repetition. And number one, 99% of it is repetition. There is no other thing. Okay? There is no other thing than repetition. There's nothing that will get you to play faster than repetition. Your brain has to do it over and over and over again. That's it. Now, with that being said, if you're really wanting to play fast, then what you do is or even whatever level you're at, repetition is number one. But then what you want to do is you want to find a place that's between comfortable and impossible. You want to be pushing up against this place where you're not messing up a lot, but you're messing up every now and then. So meaning you're challenged at what you're doing, but you're not messing up every time. And you'll know this. If it's frustrating, it's too difficult. So if you're playing to a metronome, slow that metronome down. If you're bored, it's too slow. So just find that place where you're like, I'm having fun, I'm being challenged. That's the place where you can really get fast. But you can't do that, obviously, without repetition, okay? Okay, beautiful. Here we go. Let's keep going. If you hold the guitar with the neck straight up, you won't need to bend your wrist. Absolutely. So, I talk about this in a lot of my videos, right? So this is on my left thigh. This is on my right thigh. Now, what do you notice, right? You notice that the neck is down. Now look at my hand. Here comes my thumb, right? But why do guitar players put the guitar on their left thigh and they put their foot on a stool? Because it takes the guitar neck and it puts it up like this. You'll see a lot of like jazz players and guys that understand why this is so helpful. They'll wear their guitars up here like this. Now, does it look a little goofy? Yeah, of course it does, but it does help you play. So find a good like in between maybe that looks cool, but then also helps you play. And at the end of the day, it really comes down to playing well. So if somebody was ripping like this, I'm not gonna be like, well, you look goofy, No, man. It's about the ear, right? It's not about what it looks like. Okay, good stuff. Struggling on learning, but my time practice is way low. The chords, notes are my hurdle currently. Your videos helped a lot, though. And shout out to your brother for the left-handed guitar. Beautiful. Shout out to my brother for the left-handed guitar. You talking about my brother? My brother kind of builds and does stuff with guitars. Is that what you're talking about? You have to let me know if you know him. That's pretty cool. Okay, there you go. There's more. Pro, nice, beautiful. Thank you, Alex. You're welcome, Stephen. Yeah, man, thank you very much for saying that, and I appreciate that you understand what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, we have excuses for anything that we want to do. whether it's make more money or get healthy or whatever. And those excuses are meant to keep us in a safe place that we know, safe place of non-change. But they're not. But what you're not going to get is you're not going to get the change that you desire. You can't do both. It's either you sit with the excuses and you don't do anything and you feel comfortable, and we know what that entails, and we know what the fruit of that is. Or you can say, damn it, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to change my life. And then you do that thing, and then you find out how to do it by following people who have gone before you and have changed that thing, whether that's, doesn't matter what it is, getting healthy or anything else. And then we're so much happier, right? We're meant to grow. We're not meant to stay where we're at. Okay? Okay, so how is UGS Pro and 365 different from Udemy Complete courses? Okay, Udemy Complete course, so that is a course that's absolutely fantastic. We have hundreds of thousands of people in that course, literally hundreds of thousands. But it is a fraction of what UGS Pro is. I think we might have 175 lessons in that complete one, whereas UGS, when you buy UGS Pro, which you get for $299 today, it's $386 off today. That's not a joke. There's no trickery. It's $386 off. Anyhow, that has, like between the two courses, it's like over 1,000 lessons. So nothing close. The complete system, it's awesome. And there's a reason why we have hundreds of thousands of students in that course, but it doesn't compare. It's just not the same thing. Okay. And some of those videos are older for sure. Then this is a premium product on our website. Okay. Now, here you go. I'm going to practice spreading my fingers apart while I watch TV. I'll get hundreds of hours of practice in a month. Iggy, I've done this for decades, and you definitely want to do that. Have the guitar in your hands, friend. If you're watching TV, you could be practicing. If you watch 2 hours a day, you could be practicing 2 hours a day. Because all these exercises that I give you, like at 365, they don't take a lot of mental power. They're specifically meant so that you can just sit there and play it over and over again. And in fact, if you want to sit there for an hour and play it over and over again, you're going to get bored probably if you're not being entertained by the TV or something like that. Okay, so absolutely, you should be practicing while watching TV. It drives my wife nuts, and I don't care. I'm going to do it. It's what I do. Okay. Which EVH model do I have? It's just the newer EVH that looks like the legit beat up model. It's just, I don't know, it's just called an EVH, but it's not the shiny one. I have that one. I gave it away in a broadcast like this, and it's the one that's all beat up and stuff like that. It's amazing. I love it so much. Thank you, Jonathan. I love your courses. I've improved so much because of your courses, instructions, and advice. Anyone should get in UGS and 365 Pro or 365 guitar playing. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jonathan, from your ears to the folks out there. I'm not playing around when I say that your progress at the guitar is my passion. Like, this is what I've done. I've done this for over 40 years now. I've noticed. I learned a long time ago that there are two things I'm extremely passionate about. I love tons of stuff. I mean, I could go off: yoga, meditation, eating right, recently into cryptocurrency. It's so fascinating to me. There's 10 million things that I'm into, you know what I mean? Love music, guitar, walking on the beach. I love anything to do with the beach. But what I learned a long time ago, there's two things that are just consistent with me all the time and always have been, is that I love helping others, number one. Number two, I friggin' love guitar. So what a perfect, well, you know what would be a great job for someone like that? A guitar teacher. And I've been doing this, I've been teaching for over 40 years, literally. I love it so much. I love my job. It seems ridiculous that it's just so cool. I love it. Okay. I have Waldstrom's on chemo 3.5 years. I'm 69. My motto is never say never, except when it's never give in. Abso-friggin-lutely. Love that, Rocky. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And what is, yeah, I won't get into it, but yes, absolutely. You know, Empathy is good. It's good for a minute, especially when it helps you to realize that there are others that may have it harder than you. I think it helps the person who has the empathy. It doesn't help the other person so much. In a world of victims, we could say that that's a currency, but have you found that there's no amount of empathy that fills that hole? I have found that. So empathy doesn't really help the other person unless you can actually physically help them. If they're stuck in a hole and you're like, oh God, I'm so sorry you're down in that hole. That's terrible. That doesn't help them. All the pity and empathy doesn't help them. You throwing a rope down and helping them out, that'll help them. That's a real thing. But I feel like the empathy is for us because it gets us to realize, wow, have it good, and and you can love somebody, you can help somebody, maybe give them a pat on the back or throw a rope to them and help them out of a hole. But like the actual empathy itself doesn't really help. I've always said, people that get really mad at being kind of unfeeling about certain things, it's like, I would rather somebody be completely unfeeling about my plight, whatever problems I'm going through. I would rather them be completely cold and help me than for them to have all the empathy poured out on me, all the pity in the world, and then not help me. What would you rather if you were stuck in a hole? Would you rather the guy who has all sorts of empathy crying, or would you rather the guy who's going to throw the rope to you, right? So I like to be honest with that sort of thing. And at the end of the day, it's all about honesty. You got to it's the only way to get to the end is through truth. Otherwise, you just keep kicking the can down the road, right? With everything, government, everything. Can we get a YGS health and fitness course? I love your mindset and feel motivated to get back into the gym. Man, no joke, I've thought about doing that sort of thing because I'm so obsessed with getting healthy and what have you. I've thought about doing kind of like an over 50s for men over 50, like what to do type of thing. But there's tons of guys that are way better than me at that. And I feel like I'm kind of in my lane now, but that's really sweet, Tan-May. Thank you. Very kind. The greatest benefit of UGS and 365 course is that it provides a framework and a structure and keeps you moving forward to digestible bites. Beautiful. Thank you so much, man. And 365 plan for daily exercise. You just have a video with the tabs and the melody. Sometimes it's hard to get even. Okay, could you please add a video of you showing it? Okay, no. Number one, no. And here's why. You can teach a man to fish, or you can give a man a fish, right? Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. And so what this person's asking here, and I appreciate the ask because it's not like I haven't been asked that before, but here's the deal. If I say these are the 4 principles like I showed you today for fretting the guitar, these are the 4 principles, and you abide by those 4 principles, you do those 4 principles on every exercise. It never changes. And you looking at my hand, believe it or not, is not going to help you one iota. It will not help you. What you need to know is you need to get the basics down, the calisthenics, the basic parts of it, really get that down intuitively with exercise 1 like I show you, and then bring that to every single exercise. I can promise you, okay? I appreciate the ask. It's not like I haven't been asked that before. I've considered it, but it would be just literally a waste of your time, a waste of my time, because it would make the program way too big. And at the end of the day, if I say play the 3rd fret, play the 3rd fret. If you're like, well, what finger? Well, that means you hadn't watched the video where I tell you about inventory, finger inventory, and how to do that. It's one of the first, it's dexterity exercise number 1 where I teach you that, okay? So great question, but that's why I don't do that, because it will actually in the end debilitate you. And I don't want to debilitate you, I want to make you a better player, okay? All right, thank you, Lisa, so kind. Lisa is one of my star students. She is crushing the game of guitar inside of UGS Pro. We talked this morning, and she is crushing it. I replied to you if you hadn't seen it, Lisa. But she's crushing it. Which, by the way, if you're in Pro, like, we can communicate. Like, literally, you can be like, Eric, I don't understand this about this thing. How do you do this? That's why we do this. And then we have the live broadcasts, okay? So all of that there for you. Absolutely, no armrests is my thing anywhere. So when you're talking about chairs, friggin' armrests. It's like the guitar player's bane. They hate it. I was in a band called Me and Eric. It was with my friend Troy Johnson. He's a professional songwriter in Nashville. Great songwriter, written for like Dixie Chicks and Keith Urban, like all these people. Really great songwriter and a fantastic vocalist. And the very first thing he did when he got his first hit is he went out and he threw out all his chairs with arms and got only chairs without arms, specifically for this reason, because because he played a lot and wrote a lot, so he was just like, I can't do this, you know. Patrick, do you accept free song submissions? I'm not sure what you mean by that, my friend. I don't analyze songs, and I don't need songs, so I'm not sure. You'll have to hit me up, maybe send me a message inside the program or email me. You know, contact me on my YourGuitarSage page, but I'm not sure what you mean by that, Patrick. You can give me more details here. Maybe I'll say yeah, but I don't think so. I don't have a need for songs, and there's a glut of songs out there. But if my wife's songwriter course, which she's a professional songwriter, she's on over 13 million albums. She's written for Garth Brooks, 2 or 3 songs for Garth Brooks, Carrie Underwood, Lady Antebellum, Disney. She has the song currently in the firework display that they do with the thing, Happily Ever After. If you've ever been to the firework display, she wrote that song. Sabrina Carpenter, so many people she's written with and has songs with out there. So she's a legit songwriter, amazing songwriter, one of the best I've ever heard. And I don't say that because she's my wife. I tell her I don't like that song, meaning it's not for me. It's a well-written song, but I don't like it. You know, she'll say, what do you think of this song? Most of the time I'm like, that's a friggin' killer song. She's an amazing songwriter. Anyhow, we have a course that we did together with my wife, and it's 40% off right now. So links in the description of that video. Patrick, check that out if you need any help there with songwriting. I love the Gretsch White Falcon guitars. I know they're so cool. I'd like to get one myself. Yeah. Yep, absolutely, Brad. Oh, this is so kind, Iggy. Thanks for treating us like humans. Thanks for giving a damn. I do. I really care, man. I feel it in my heart. I do. Man, tough love is a thing. You know, it's like I got my son. He's the friggin' cutest guy in the world. He's ridiculous. But every now and then I have to give him tough love because he just gets spoiled. He gets spoiled. He just gets loved on so much from us that sometimes he just, you know, I noticed with my first kid, who's now 28, I think, same thing. I just, so much love, so much attention. She never questioned it. And then sometimes, you know, they need tough love, and I need tough love, and we all need tough love sometimes, right? Just being honest is really what it is, just being honest. Okay, how to stop feeling inferior when browsing other people's playing, especially in the day of Instagram. Tanmay, because everybody's different, everybody brings something new to the table, so what you want to do is about thinking, instead of like comparing, like thinking inferior, there is no inferior, there's just different. And then you can say, okay, so like you might say, okay, well, yeah, Eric, but Stevie Ray Vaughan plays blues better than you. Sure, yeah, I would agree with that. But does Stevie Ray Vaughan do what I do best? And could he? No, I don't think so. What I mean by that is, my job is teaching guitar and getting concepts across to people. And that's my lane, and that's what I do. My lane is not to play blues like Stevie Ray Vaughan. I would love to, but the amount of hours I'd have to do in addition to that is just a whole nother lifetime, and I don't have the time to do that, nor really the desire. Would I love to be as good as that without practicing? Of course, we all would, right? But then when the rubber meets the road, now we gotta make a decision. And so, for me, you know, not comparing myself to people that, I mean, every now and then, a healthy comparison to someone maybe that's doing what you want to do and they're doing it better, that's good. A healthy comparison, like, wow, but instead of like feeling inferior, let them inspire you. You know, get in their lane and be like, God, what can I learn from this person? That's how you want to do it. So don't worry about what other people are doing, you know. I value honesty with kindness. I agree. Kindness is the #1 thing in the world and would make the world so much better. Honesty as well. You can't be kind and be dishonest, can you? Right? Focus on gain and not the gap when working towards a goal. There will always be a gap between where you are and where you will end up. Absolutely. Look back at where you've gained. I say this all the time, and that's beautiful, Iggy. Exactly. Think about this. You're on a continuum. Everything in life, from how many breaths you have to how many you don't have, right? It's all a continuum. How many days you have, how many smiles you have, how many laughs you have, everything else. So think about this. When you're playing guitar, we all start at ground zero. We all start at step one. Every single person, the greatest guitar players in the world, picked up the guitar for the first time and fumbled and had a problem with bar chords and this, that, and the other thing. If you don't believe that, dear Lord, get in, listen to me some, because it's absolutely 100% true. But then the people that were practicing every single day, and the more they practice, obviously they went faster on that continuum, but wherever they are is where they are. They're not back here, and they're not where they want to go. They're right here. And that's for everybody. So to curse where you are that's the worst thing in the world, because like you're always where you are. Where you want to go is going to take more work, more sacrifice, more whatever. So just be content with where you're at. Content as in, I'm here because I deserve to be here, is of how much I've practiced. But where I want to go, I'm going to have to do blank, and I'm going to stick to it. And if I don't stick to it, I'm not going to feel bad because I didn't do the work, right? Beautiful, Iggy. Couldn't say it better. Okay, YGS Health would be cool. What key should I learn first on the guitar? The key of G major and the key of C. And if you're in UGS Pro, I have a video called How to Keep Everything in the Feel of G or C, something like that. How to keep, if you just search how to keep in the search engine for the site, you'll find it. How to keep everything in the key of G or C. In the key of G or C, you have minimal bar chords and minimal sharps and flats. I'll just leave it at that. It makes it so much easier. That's why you see me use the capo a lot. Why make it harder when you don't have to? Do I play in every single key? Yes, I do. Do I use the capo every single time? Nope. Only when it makes sense. Okay? So, all right. Okay, do I have video instructions on how to change strings on a Strat? I feel like there's much detail. Careful about Strat when changing strings. There's no different information about it, Jonathan, to be honest with you. But I do, in the beginner section, I have a whole thing with Greg Ellis that we go into, and I talk about that. There's other ones where I'm talking about changing strings. So you can just search strings or changing, and I'm sure you will find exactly what you're looking for. But you just, poke the strings through the back of the guitar. There's holes. You'll see that. That's it, man. You just, follow the instructions that I give you, but there's nothing complex specifically about a Strat. In fact, I feel like Strats are kind of the easier ones. If you're talking about stringing up a guitar with a Floyd Rose, now you're talking a little bit more detail there, okay? Love this. Music is hearing art. Can you go over some exercises pertaining to ear, brain, finger connections, sing what you play and play what you sing? Yeah, absolutely. So, number one, inside of, I'm trying to think if it's in the free course. I don't think it is. But I do have something called hum and hunt. So, for instance, if I go, okay, that's an F sharp. So that's what I call hum and hunt. That's the number one thing you should be able to do. Just hum a note and then find it on the guitar. And I have a method for that. You listen, you go, was that note higher or lower? And then you move in the direction on one string chromatically, one note at a time. Don't be hopping around. Sweep. Okay, sweep across one string, one note at a time till you find the note. That's the number one thing. That's what I call hum and hunt. That's in the program. But also, I teach it throughout the program. So it's not, I wouldn't say there's like two things I could just tell you to do here right now. That's one of them, I suppose. Learning how to count the beat, like tap your foot and then be able to know what the one is. We won't go into all that detail right now, but that's one thing to do. Everything that I teach, honestly, Kevin, I go into this you know, I go into this connection. Singing and playing guitar, that's a small course that you can get separately, 40% off right now. It's also inside of UGS Pro. I'm 99% sure it is, but that's a good one too as well. Oh, good. Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, we sure will. We're planning on doing these probably once a quarter, I'd say, you know. Okay. What do you suggest doing after the freebie guitar series? Just starting off, can barely do the 1, 2, 3, 4 exercises, but looking forward. Tiffany, my suggestion to you would be get into UGS Pro. Obviously, Platinum is a better product because you get more things, but there's so much in Pro. There's absolutely so much in Pro. You getting through everything, you'd have to be really, really wanting to dig in, or there may, you know, a specific course that you may want to take advantage of. That's why a lot of people go Platinum, because there's specific courses, and they're like, well, if I get Pro, you know, and I buy this course and this course and this course, I could just get Platinum and get everything, right? So Pro is the next way to go. UGS Pro. If you're just like, hey, I just want to play blues, that's all I want to do, then go the blues route. I have, you know, stuff that will start you off right at the beginning. Or if you just want to learn fingerstyle, you know, we have the Joe Robinson courses that we produce. You could go straight to those and start on those. Tiffany, if you have any more questions, hit me up here, or, you know, hit me up any of the live broadcasts or on the website or whatever, and we can go over that more. But honestly, if you go to the store, guys, I have these descriptions. I have short descriptions, I have long descriptions, I have video descriptions. Like anything that you need, you'll be able to find there, and you'll be able to find out immediately what it is that you know, whether that course is for you or not. Okay, and we have a 60-day money-back guarantee. So like if you don't like something, or is it 30-day? It'll say what it is. I think we changed it recently, and I don't know which way we went. I got so many things to think about, friends, but you'll see it. You'll see all that stuff as you're checking out, okay? But we have, you know, if you get into it, we have at least a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you're 28 days in, message us. We'll give you 100% of your money back. We don't want money from anybody who's not liking the program or something, or just for whatever reason they're like, I don't want to have it. I'm not gonna do the practice. I get it. Okay. So saying my heart goes out to you while recording your hardship for social media is bad? No, not necessarily, right? But it does what it does. It just makes someone go, oh, and then that's it, right? I'd rather somebody be heartless, not heartless, right? Just have no emotion about something and help me, or help my kid if my kid needed help. If you want to have no emotion at all and help them, I would rather that person than the person who has all the emotion in the world but doesn't do crap, right? That's why I think a lot of people pushing back on so many of these things where you know the stuff I'm talking about, where there's no substance there. It's just all, I'm a victim of this and that and the other thing. It's like, okay, congratulations, you're a victim. Let's see who can be the bigger victim, right? What does that get you in the end? You're the guy that everybody says, hey, you're the biggest victim. That's your reward. Wow, good for you. Okay, not you guys. We're a different breed. It is what it is. Playing as anyone else would be bad, in my opinion. You should aspire to be good enough to play as you. Absolutely. I've seen guys, you know, just nail Stevie Ray Vaughan perfectly, or Yngwie Malmsteen, and you go, God. I mean, I watch these players and I go, God, that is so good. I would love to be that good, right? I know what it would take. It would take more practice. But I definitely could get there. You definitely can get there. There's no like special door that you have to enter. It's a rite of passage through practice, and that's all. There is nothing else. Saying anything else is lying to yourself. But as Matt says here, that's great. So let's say you spend 20 years trying to play like Stevie Ray Vaughan, and you can play every lick that he's ever done. Yay, that's awesome. It is really cool, because it means you can do a bunch of other stuff now. But at the end of the day, People are going to be like, that's the guy that sounds like Stevie Ray Vaughan. What's his name? I don't know, but he's good. I know who you're talking about, right? So be you, be the best version of you, because we need you. We don't need another Stevie Ray Vaughan. It doesn't help us. We got Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray Vaughan does what Stevie Ray Vaughan does. You do what you do best. Find out what it is you do best and bring that to the world. Be authentic, and the world will accept and maybe even beat a door to your path, beat a path to your door. Okay. Eric, thank you for this video. I appreciate your time and your heart. Thank you so much, Raymond. Very kind. Happy Christmas to you, James. Indeed. Every religion has one thing in common: treat others how you want them to treat you. Do that and peace will find us all. I absolutely believe. What guitar do you think is the best for practicing? The one that you have, honestly. The one that you have. There's no special guitar. Because everybody's different too, What guitar do you recommend for practicing while watching TV? I would say an electric, number one, because it's quiet. So if you're listening with somebody else, and like I'll sit with my wife, she'll be on the left of me and I'll point the guitar the other way, because even though I'm playing electric, I'm playing these licks over and over again. It's driving her nuts sometimes, right? So I try to be quiet. I play electric, so the acoustic's pretty loud. So I'd say that. Okay. Yes, thank you so much, Mike, for posting that. Friends, go to YourGuitarSage.com/holiday24 to check out all the specials. Let me mention them again real quick. I'm just going to do them super quick if you're just joining us. If you want $386 in your pocket immediately, right now, take advantage of UGS Pro. Normally it's $685. We're doing $386 off of that. What? Yeah, $386. So it's $299 today. Lifetime membership, over 1,000 lessons. I mean, what is that per lesson? It's like way less than 30 cents. It's like a quarter, okay? My one-on-one lessons are $300 an hour, literally. If you want to meet with me for an hour, it's $300. I'm going to teach you the same stuff I'm teaching in the program, unless you have something specific you want to go over. So like that program is just worth a massive amount of it. Literally what you're getting for 1 hour of my time is you're getting everything, not everything, but you're getting like 1,000 videos. You're getting the stuff that's really going to bring you forward. Platinum is everything, right? All right. Stoic is the word. Absolutely. Absolutely. Guitar is a journey with a beginning and a lifetime trip. Absolutely. Yep. All right. We're getting close to the end of these comments. So if I haven't answered your question yet, then that means that I've skipped over it. We've gone over our 2-hour mark. So I'm going to go ahead and probably stop here in just a minute, friends. Let me get to these last ones. I saw somebody mention something about UGS Pro and Windows. And then where was that? Stop doing UGS Pro when it stops working on Windows. But then, yeah, no, it works on Windows, friends. And then I saw another one. I just went to UGS on my Windows 11 browser and it was fine. Yeah, it works there. Sometimes, folks, you got to check your own settings, right? So like just because it doesn't work doesn't mean it doesn't work. And I have literally hundreds of thousands of customers. Imagine if your bank software didn't work for hundreds of thousands of people, right? Or imagine if this program didn't work for hundreds of thousands of people. Do you know how many emails I would have to attend to? So if it's ever not working, 99.9% of the time it has to do with your computer or your setup or your browser or something needing to be updated. It's not going to be the program. You're welcome to email me about it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it, and if it doesn't work, I'll do it because you're asking me, and I'll double check it. But like never in the history of ever has it, when someone says it's not working, has it not been working. Now I have had something where like maybe I had a video in the wrong place, or I didn't have a PDF where it should be or something like that. But like it not working, or when people say the video is not working, that's your system. That's your browser needs to be updated or something, because we have way too many people in the program. I would be inundated with emails if there was a problem. I can promise you, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging, okay? Okay, I think you taught me to practice finger patterns while muting strings. Yeah, I do that as well, yeah. Eric, any course or advice on the business side of guitar? I know it's an ambitious dream. Tanmay, no, I don't have anything specifically on that, because there's just so many different avenues one could go. So I don't have anything specifically like that. I'm you know, you're welcome to ask me anything specifically, but you know, what do you want to be, a studio player, or do you want to play in a live band, or do you want to be a guitar teacher, or do you want to be an online guitar teacher, or 10 million other different things that guitar players could do, right? Playing a worship band. So I try to cover that as much as possible with these courses, you know. Gene's saying, you previously mentioned banjo. Are you playing 5-string or 6? 5-string, like a traditional banjo, right? Or is the banjo 4? No, 5 strings. Heck, it's been a while since I've picked up the banjo. But the 6-string version, you're talking about a ganjo, which is tuned to the guitar, but it sounds like a banjo. So I'm talking about like a traditional banjo, however many strings that is. It's been a while since in fact, I think I sold my banjo. Yeah, I did. I don't have my banjo anymore. I don't play it. I love playing banjo. It's a cool instrument. It's not hard to learn. It's a lot of, well, I should say the rolls take a little bit to get to learn, because it's a little bit different than how we think on the guitar, but it's not difficult to learn the chords. You can learn them in one day, in an hour, honestly. If you know regular guitar lessons, regular guitar chords, they're similar, okay? Always good to hear your explanations related to these questions. Thanks for these sessions. Good, beautiful. Thank you, Dean. Okay. Eric, thank you for your inspiration and instruction. Safe and joyous holidays to everyone. Beautiful. Oh, thank you, John. So kind. As a retired Navy vet, I want to thank you for your being so generous. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it, and thank you for your service. For all of our vets, for all of our active duty members. Mike is a vet, a Marine, and just a good man. So I have a lot of appreciation for you guys. Thank you so much for serving. It's a big deal, man. And I apologize for the folks that don't take it seriously. People like the government, dear Lord, right? They'll use you, and then when you're done, they're like, okay, thanks so much, appreciate it. But there are many of us who truly appreciate you so much. So thank you so much. All right, last one here. Andy saying, unfortunately, I have to leave. Thank you for the great stream. Wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Best regards, Andy. Thank you so much, Andy. Totally appreciate you guys. Friends, I love you. This has been a great broadcast today. I've had so much fun. If you haven't taken advantage of the free course that I have for you, the link's in the description of this video. If you don't want to buy anything from me ever, 100% okay. I still want you to succeed, and I have a ton of free stuff. I have thousands of videos on YouTube, thousands of videos on my other platforms, Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, and we're really taking off on TikTok. I don't even have the app, so I don't even know anything about it, but we post videos there, and we're doing really well there. So I'm all over the place, got tons of free stuff for you, free courses, YourGuitarSage.com/path. Get in there, get some free stuff from me. If you really want to go down the rabbit hole, if you really are serious about your guitar playing, I have so many different paths that you can go. It's not difficult. Choose one of the paths there. It'll prompt you to go further should you desire. But better yet, go to YourGuitarSage.com/holiday24. The link's in the description of the video. Check out the massive details one last time here. UGS Pros, $386 off today. It's not $685. It's $386 off of that, so it's $299, more than 50% off. It's ridiculous. We've never done this. Okay, so if you're serious about guitar, friends, this isn't, I don't know if we're going to do it again. I can tell you that we haven't. Okay, we did one years ago that was similar, but it wasn't the program that you get today. It wasn't the massive amount of information that we have in there today. Okay, so that's happening. We have $300 off of Platinum. So if you want to go big time and you really want to just be done with lessons for the rest of your life, ever buying anything, video jam tracks, everything, at least check out the description, because you're going to be like, what the flip, Eric? You're giving away all this stuff for that much, for that price? That's ridiculous. It's normally $11.97. Today it's $8.97. Okay. Everything else is 40% off in the store. And for those who are pro already and want to get into Platinum, be looking out for an email from me, because we have a path for you that's super affordable, and you want that extra stuff. It's bonkers. Okay. Love you guys so much. That's it for today. Thank you so much. Congratulations to all the winners. We're going to reach out to you, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Great stuff today. Bye. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.